physical therapist today. How are you doing? Are you Mom?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Megan. Okay, so welcome to physical therapy. So we're going to be going through some stuff today, kind of see what's going on. I read your chart and I read kind of everything with your concussion scale on that intake form that we did when you got here. So we're going to talk about some of those things. But first, can I have you tell me your first and last name, please?
Emily Nash.
Okay. And your date of birth?
February 2nd, 1994.
Okay, good. And can you tell me where we are today?
We are at physical therapy clinic
Okay, where?
in Atlanta.
Perfect. So do you know what day of the week it is?
It is a Thursday.
Okay, and why are you here today?
The government told me to come.
Okay.
The brain doctor said I was cleared to go back to work. So they put me in a desk job. I was having trouble concentrating. I also have trouble walking because I'm just like so dizzy and out of breath.
Okay.
And stuff. So they told me I wasn't doing a good job because I couldn't concentrate.
Okay. So obviously you had a concussion. I saw it was in your chart again. It was a blast injury with everything that happened. So so you said you're kind of the difficulty concentrating, and that is that the worst thing? What are kind of your worst symptoms right now?
A killer headache.
Okay.
Especially when I go outside, like sounds and the light. It's just
Sensitivity to that?
It gets so bad that
Okay.
I can't function.
Okay.
I try to focus on things, but I can't.
Okay.
And like when I try to go to the bathroom, like get up when I wake up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth and everything, like I am so wobbly.
Okay.
I feel like I'm falling.
Okay. Okay. Well, those would definitely be some things that we look at here. And so I see you're in the military. This is how this kind of all happens normally. Not at a desk job, but they still have availability for you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's been about a week since this whole incident. All right. Generally, overall, I know you were in good shape with the military, but did you have any surgeries I need to know about?
No, I've been really good.
Okay.
Before all this.
Any other medical history, any medications you're taking?
No.
Nope, nothing. Perfect. That makes
They
my
gave
job
me a
easier.
bunch to take
Okay.
after this, but
Okay.
She's always been really healthy, really athletic, really fit. First big thing that I can remember.
First issue.
She's had trouble peaking.
Okay. Okay. And your living situation right now, how's that going? What's that like?
I live alone.
Okay.
My mom insisted that while all of this was going on, I was staying with her.
Okay.
And I'm driving her places.
Good idea. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. And so are you in a house right now?
Yes, 2-story.
2-story. Are you having any difficulty with stairs?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we can deal with that. And do you have a bedroom on the first floor by chance? Okay. So we can go over some stair stuff today. We'll kind of see how you're doing with that in our assessment and see if that's safe or if we need to kind of make you a makeshift bedroom downstairs potentially until you can get back up on your feet and get steady. Or if we need to just work on getting up those stairs. But that shouldn't be too hard a problem. Okay? All right, so let me go ahead and, well, actually, before that, can you give me one goal to get out of physical therapy if you could have anything?
I want a job where I'm not at a desk and I can actually do it.
Okay, so get back to your job. Okay, all right. Well, let's make that happen. I'm going to do some tests and measures, and we're going to take a look at that. Mom, if you don't mind just scooting your chair over just a little bit so we can have a little extra room to work, and we will get started on some of this. So, Emily, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come behind you. I'm going to apply some pressure on your head and then kind of pull up. You're going to let me know if that changes any of your symptoms. Just, I know you said you've got the headache going on and that, but there's no numbness, tingling, pain.
Only in my head.
Pain is in the head, and how would you rate that pain? 0, no pain, 10 being the worst in your life.
If I'm like outside in the bright, it's like a 10.
About 10. Okay, and what about right now?
It's probably like there's like a lot of background noise right now, so it's probably like a 6 or 7.
Okay, and what about the lowest that headache gets? Does it ever go completely away? No, it's waking you up at night, those sorts of things.
I have trouble sleeping. I can't go to sleep because of it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So we'll definitely take a look at that. For sure. So I want you to let me know if while we do these tests and measures, if your headache is getting worse, if you need a break, if you need to stop, if you need us to kind of see if we can dim the lights in here, kind of, work with the sound. So just keep me posted, all right? So if you'll just put your feet flat on the floor right there for me. Gonna come around here. Okay, you let me know if this changes anything here. Okay? What about that there?
They're the same.
Still the same? Okay, perfect. Get some stuff over here. Gonna take your blood pressure, is that okay?
Yeah, it's probably high.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to check at a reflex with your eyes here. So what I'm going to have you do is you are going to look straight at my nose. I'm going to move your head a little bit, but just keep those eyes on my nose, okay?
Okay.
Good. Any issues with that?
I'm so dizzy.
Getting dizzy?
Yeah.
Okay. We can take a second. That looked good from how looks good. Everything was going how it needed to go with that. But I'm going to give you a second to let those. I know some of these aren't going to be fun. They're going to kind of provoke some of those symptoms that we're having, but we need to get down to the root of the cause and of everything so we can address that, all right? Emily, next I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I kind of want to look at how your thinking, your train of thought is working. So I'm going to give you 3 words: apple, book, and light. Can you repeat those back to me?
Apple, book, light.
Great. Perfect. And what did you have for breakfast this morning?
A protein shake and a granola bar.
Okay. And Mom, is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, not that I don't trust him. We got to make sure that everything lines up. So, and also, who is the president right now?
Trump.
Okay, great. So, we're going to move on. Next, I'm going to have you read something for me. First, you can hold this about an arm's length away. If you will read that big text right there.
Melissa McCarthy, family, fame, and feeling great.
Wonderful. And what about this smaller text on this side?
Inside the cult that took over a town.
Great, thank you. Can you read that sign for me right there?
Sims physical therapy.
Okay, wonderful. Alrighty, so next we're going to get into some other assessments that are going to kind of take a look at some of the nerves. Oh, no, glutes. Okay, actually, can you tell me those 3 words?
Apple, something.
Okay, if it was, can give you a little hint here, something that you may read.
Book.
Okay.
I've been noticing that she's a little foggy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noticing a little foggy there. All right. So
Yeah.
you can't remember those 2 words. Those other words. Okay, great. We will document that. Which is normal. Don't worry about that. That's something. Sometimes it can take up to 3 months after the injury for symptoms to fully be gone and have everything back. But the memory should be coming back pretty soon. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the next test that we're going to look at is I'm going to hold up some fingers here, right? And I want you to look straight at me, and I want you to tell me which finger I'm moving. You can point with one of your hands. Okay, you ready? Okay, great. Great. No issues with that? Okay. Awesome. So now next I'm going to have you look straight ahead, and I want you to bring your finger straight out from the side here, and you're going to bring it up forwards, and I want you to tell me when you can see your fingertip, but look straight ahead. Go ahead.
Right there.
You can see it right there? Perfect. Let's do that on the other side. Perfect. Great. No issues with that? So, the next one we're going to look at, I want you to follow. Actually, let's lower you down here. Okay. I'm going to hold my pen here, and I want you to follow my pen with just your eyes. Don't move your head, okay? helps you with that? Yeah, hard moving the eye. Are you getting the dizziness? Okay. The next one we're going to do, I'm sorry, that may not be the biggest fan. We're going to go ahead and do this test here. I want you to look back and forth at my fingers 10 times as fast as you can. Okay. Causing some symptoms. Okay, what about if we do a flip? Okay. Dizzy? All right. We'll give you a second to kind of let those symptoms calm down. I know this isn't the most fun thing here. Alrighty. Next, I want to take a look at how your pupils are responding. I know you've been a little sensitive to light, so we're going to make this as quick as we can. All right.
Okay.
So if you'll actually take your glasses off for me, just so that's not magnified. Okay. And close your eyes just for 1 second so we can get that, and then I will let you know when to open. Okay, go ahead and open. Okay, try to keep those eyes open, right? Okay, a little sensitivity there. All right, sorry about that. Okay, good. That looks fine. Okay, you can go ahead and put your glasses back on for this next one. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is you're going to hold this pen here, and you're going to start far away, and you're going to move it slowly closer to your nose. I want you to let me know when it starts to get blurry or when you see 2 of them. Okay, and then you're going to hold it there. You don't have to keep looking at it, but I'm just going to measure that after that happens. Okay.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and do that there.
Go.
Yep. Start out. Start right there. Good. Nice and slow.
Right there.
Okay, right there. All right. Sorry. Okay. All right. Are you getting the dizziness symptoms or anything right now? Getting a little worse. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit further than what should happen, so we're going to incorporate that into some of our treatments to help you out. All right. So next, I want to take a look at some general strength and range of motion here. So we're going to do a little sign that says copy. You need to kind of check some things out first. So if you will go straight up for me, arm straight up. Now flip your palms up and back. Check your shoulders. Back this way. Flip over. And have you rev your motorcycle. All right. Squeeze this hand for me. Good. Squeeze this hand. We're going to put your hands behind your back. Behind your head, actually. Behind your Macarena. Okay, so, and let's have you go straight, arm up all the way front. Good. And this one too, all the way front. Perfect. Okay, so you spread your fingers apart. Back. Good. These ones here, can I see you march? Pick your foot up. Good. Okay, so next, if you will kick this leg straight out for me. Good. And back. Good. So you move this one. Perfect. You're going to lift this leg up for me. Don't hold. Don't let me move you. Hold. Good. Of course, you're strong. You're in the wheelchair. All right. Keep holding. Hold. Hold. Good. All right. Let's have you do this. Here, if you'll kick this leg out just a little bit. Now bend it just a little. And hold there. Don't let me move you. Good. And pull back for me. This one here. Don't move you. Good. This one here. Good. All right. Well, if you'll bring your toes up, don't let me move you. I'll have to go through this one too, and then press down in my hand. Good. Can I take your shoe off? Okay. You do this big toe up. Move you. Good. Let's do this one here. Okay. Come up first. Good. Push down. Bring this toe up. Good. Perfect. Put those shoes back on. Okay, so Emily, your strength and your range of motion look really good, which isn't surprising. I didn't really expect to see deficits there. But next what I want you to do is I'm going to have you close your eyes. You can keep them open for right now. And I'm going to rub my fingers on either side of your ear, and I want you to let me know where you hear them, in which ear. You can just point with your fingers, okay? So go ahead and close your eyes. Okay, good. Any issues with that?
Yeah, just a little faint.
A little faint. Have you had any ringing in your ears?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
Ever since
Okay.
the last.
Ever since the last. Okay. All right. We'll make note of that here on this one. Okay. So the next one I want you to do is you're going to put your hands on your knees and you're going to go palm up and palm down, but we're going to have you do it as fast as you can for 10 times. Go ahead. Okay. Couple issues with that? A little difficult to do. Okay. Let's have you do the same thing. Let's have you tap your toes. Tap this way. Okay. All right. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to touch your chin, and then you're going to touch my finger, okay? So go ahead. Yep. Just like that. And again. Good. Okay, and again. Good. All right. Any issues with that? Okay, perfect. All right. So now I think what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at see your balance and how you're walking, and look at that and see kind of where those falls are coming from. So now I'm going to take a look at your balance and how you're walking and everything. With just you standing right here, how's that feeling?
It's all right.
Okay. I see you're kind of standing with your feet pretty far apart. So what if you move your feet closer together? You see how mine are about shoulder width apart? Okay. You can just take one step and just move them closer. Okay. How's that? I want you to let go of that table. It's a little wobbly. You're feeling okay. All right. Now,
I've noticed that when she's like walking around the home, she's always kind of like holding on to stuff,
Okay.
like kitchen counter or couch or
okay.
yeah.
Okay. We'll take a look at that when we walk, but that's definitely good to know. Let's see, that can happen a lot of times with the inner ear issues, you want to get the symptoms like that. So, okay, if I can see you actually close your eyes here. Good. Okay, and you can open your eyes. All right, stand on one foot for me. Okay. All right, you can come down. A little difficult there. Okay. You can just go on your other foot and touch down with the other. Okay. Okay. All right. So definitely have a little bit of work to do with that. Now let's come across. I'm actually going to grab a tech for this next section. We're going to do a walking assessment here, and we're going to see how that looks. Okay. So Emily, this is my PT tech, Sammy. Hi. So we're going to be going through a couple of these tests. I'm just going to have her help me read this so I can make sure you don't have any issues with falling. But I am going to be here to guard you just in case. But I want you to do as much as you can on your own. Okay. So with this test, you're going to start here at this blue tape, and we're going to, the ending point is that black square, the furthest one. So the first one we're going to do is we're just going to walk at your normal pace all the way down there.
Okay, walk at your normal speed from here to the next mark.
Okay. Ready? Okay. And go. Good, and stop. All right. So, Sammy, can you read the second for me?
Begin walking at your normal pace. When I tell you go, walk as fast as you can. When I tell you slow, walk as slowly as you can.
Okay. Ready? Okay, so go ahead and go. All right, fast. Okay, slow. Good. No problems there?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Sammy, can you read the third one for me?
Begin walking at your normal pace. When I tell you to look right, keep walking straight, but turn your head to the right. Keep looking to the right until I tell you look left. Then keep walking straight and turn your head to the left. Keep your head to the left until I tell you look straight. Then keep walking straight, but return your head to the center.
Okay. So, in simple terms, we're going to be walking. I'm going to tell you to look to the right. You do that. Then I'm going to tell you to look to the left. We'll do that. And then I'll say look to the center. And we'll finish that way. Okay. Any questions? No? Just at your regular speed.
All right.
All right. And go ahead and go. To the right. To the left. And back to center. Good. All right. You get a little dizzy on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and start on this line for me, Sammy. Can you read the next one, please?
Begin walking at your normal pace. When I tell you to look up, keep walking straight, but tip your head up. Keep looking until I tell you look down. Then keep walking straight and tip your head down. Keep your head down until I tell you look straight. Then keep walking straight, but return your head to the center.
Easy terms. Look up when I say up, look down when I say down.
All right.
You ready?
Let's do this.
Okay, so let's go. Alright, look up. And down. And alright, Sandy, you do the next.
Begin walking at your normal pace. When I tell you turn and stop, turn as quickly as you can to face the opposite direction and stop.
Okay, so let's do this without you falling over. Okay. Alright, you ready? Let's go. Okay, and pivot. Open. Okay, Sandy, can you read the next one for us?
Begin walking at your normal speed. When you come to the weight, step over it, not around it, and keep walking.
Ready? Let's go. Good. Okay. Just the same as before.
Begin walking at normal speed. When you come to the first weight, walk around the right side of it. When you come to the second weight, walk around it to the left.
Ready? All right, let's go. Good. All right.
Walk up these stairs as you would at home, using the railing if necessary. At the top, turn around and walk down.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Emily, after doing that test and kind of looking at everything that we've looked at, and obviously we know after talking to your neurologist, we knew that you had a concussion. So now the treatment is going to become we're going to base the treatment on some of the things that we found. So we found that your headaches kind of got worse and your dizziness symptoms got worse when you did have the head movements.
Right.
Also, when we did that test with the pen, with things coming towards you, that made things worse. These are all signs of normal concussion. This is how the healing process works, the sensitivity to the light and to the sound. And I know you said you wanted to get back to hiking outdoors and getting back to work, and that involves loud noises and bright lights. And so those sensitivities, we are going to be able to take care of some of those. So there's a tool called Brock strings that we're going to use to work on that convergence. There's a couple other tests we're going to use, and that's going to be the main thing we're going to work on here soon, and that's going to help with a lot of those symptoms. And then we'll work slowly on working with the head movements and making those less sensitive, and we'll start to do some work outside to test how that progression is to the sensitivity to the light and see if you can sustain more time out there. So these are all normal with what we expected to find, but now we know exactly kind of how to go about and treat them.
Okay. Good.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I thought I heard from her neurologist brain injury, but you just said concussion.
Yes.
So are those the same thing?
Yes, yes and no. Not to, but yes. So really there's 3 stages of a traumatic brain injury. There's a mild, a moderate, and a severe traumatic brain injury. This is considered a mild traumatic brain injury. So a concussion is in that category, a category of being mild, but it is still a brain injury that's occurring from trauma. So
wow.
a lot of times people don't think that concussion, you hear the football players get concussions, those sorts of things. It's a common occurrence. Unfortunately, so many men and women in our military have concussions and that sort of thing, but those actually are mild traumatic brain injuries. So yes, that is. Okay, so Emily, while we were doing that gait assessment, that movement assessment, I had your mom go ahead and download this app. So it's actually one that the Department of Defense and the military was made for the military because this is a very common injury, unfortunately. So there are a lot of great resources along those things. Do you want to kind of tell her about what you saw while you got to play with it a little bit?
So I'm still like figuring it out, me and technology. But it's got stuff like for your headaches and for how you're thinking, and you can track where you are right now, like do a little self-test to see if you're getting better. And then it's got this whole section on building resilience, and so yeah, it's gonna take me a little while to figure it out, but it seems.
I think
Sounds good.
that's a great resource right now. But if screens and that kind of light is kind of creating those symptoms, we don't want you to do that right now. We want you to avoid those things. So, and one of the big things that I want you to take home from this whole evaluation is that if it's causing your symptoms, you need to back off. This is not I know you've had that push through it mentality with your whole military career, but unfortunately that actually can make things worse. So if you are experiencing symptoms, if you're walking and turning your head and that's what does it, then we want you to step back and not to do that. We're going to do a Buffalo Protocol treadmill test next visit, so we can kind of figure out a heart rate when you start to experience symptoms, and then we'll lower that down a little bit, find that like key golden number, and then what we're going to do is make sure that you're exercising not past that point, but that'll be later on. But it's a big thing. If it's causing you symptoms, don't do it.
Okay.
Another issue is this second concussion. If you get a second concussion right now while you're still healing from this first one, this can be life-threatening. So we've got to kind of hold back on that. Let's push through it mentality. Let's take some rest. Let everything heal, and let me and the other PTs here kind of guide you in your rehab to make sure that we don't make anything worse.
So, Megan,
Yes.
one of the things that I read is that you're supposed to be resting a lot. And Emily tends to only sleep about 6 hours a night. Is that enough rest?
Well, we really need you to be getting like a full 8 hours or more of rest, but not the old school way of thinking that you need to be doing nothing, spending all day not doing anything. That's kind of the past. Now we know that PT as soon as possible is going to be really beneficial, but you do need to be getting enough sleep, because that's when the healing occurs. So you need to kind of work on the sleeping. So the PT, those symptoms are going to start to die down on its own, but also some of the things that we're going to be doing here and some of the treatments that we're going to be doing to treat the concussion and to kind of help progress this along are going to take care of that as well.
Okay.
So you need to listen to your mom and get more sleep.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
sleep is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me?
How long? Like how long is it going to take for her to get better? Because we thought she was fine. She went back to work, and then, was not fine. Headache, getting worse, and dizziness, and trouble concentrating. So.
It's a really great question. Since you have only been about a week, this is normal. We expect this. It can take up to 3 months. A lot of people get better within 3 months without any symptoms. There is a percentage, about 10% of people after that do still have symptoms and do have issues after that. So it really depends. That's a hard answer to give right now, just because we need to see how you're progressing through a month and so forth, because we still do have a little ways to go, but we'll be able to get you there no matter how long it takes. Okay? Any other questions? All right. Well, you guys have my card, and we will see you again later this week. If you think of anything, you just let me know. Okay? All right. It was nice to meet you. I will be seeing you soon. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome.
Need a man.
Hey. What did you have for breakfast?
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably not a good thing. Can I have you read this line right here?
Tell me what brings you here today.
This one right here. A little smaller one.
Open your eyes and close your eyes when walking.
Shit on that.
There's a Queen's reunion. Your Adam and Eve package has still arrived. Okay. Inside the cult that took over a town.
Great. Thank you.
She loves cults.
Not what it
I
said.
do. It is actually.
No drunk water.
Calm down.
Yes.